Hello. Hi. How are you going today? Nice to meet you. I am Chikan.
I'm Kalala.
And that is it.
Done.
Like and subscribe.
My name is George Baker Holland, 25 years old, and I'm a musician.
Okay. So my name is Harriet Ripley. I always forget my age. I'm 24. It's because I just turned 24. And my profession is like a few things. I like to keep busy, I guess. So I work like a 9-to-5 office job, but it's from home, which is sick. And then on the weekends can dabble in like some dancing and what's it called? Party hostess, atmospheric model, as they say. And I spend the rest of the time, I guess, writing music and doing music. So yeah. Oh, and I'm female as well. Sorry, I forgot. She, her, yes.
My name is Tapele Jack George Wolfgram. I'm 26 years old and I am currently a manager at a tequila bar.
I was diagnosed with ADHD 6 months ago, around February this year or something like that, yeah.
So I first found out I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was, I know I was in grade 6, so like about 11 or 12. And it was years of doing tests and like, I don't know how to explain it, like pick the box that shows the colour pink but says white, or like, I don't know, it was years of like missing school and doing those and what's wrong with her, and even like little computer tests. But yeah, then eventually they diagnosed me with ADD, which I think does not exist anymore, or it's not in the DSM.
Does anyone else in my family have ADHD? Not to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure my sister does, but yeah, she's never been diagnosed. So yeah, it's not like and in saying that, like, in POC families, it's not very common to like get diagnosed for things like ADHD. It's just yeah.
That's a good question. How my family reacted to my ADHD and if they have ADHD. I think they were supportive with it, which is good. It was a very like solo diagnosis thing though. It was like just Charlie and I, because we were in lockdown together. So it's like I was just kind of updating them on like a few things, and Mum asks me how it's going with medication every now and then, which is really good. But it's pretty relaxed. I think like when I was just like going through the process, my siblings were really like interested, and they were like, oh, interesting, like maybe I have that and stuff like that. We all very like similar, so I feel like I wouldn't put it past them. But no one has like acted on it, on like going through the whole process of being diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we're all very similar and like yeah,
it's kind of the same as with my mum. Like when I first told her, she was like, "Oh, I don't know, like I've never noticed that about you." Like, 'cause I think she was probably thinking of the stereotype of like, the hyperactive little boy, and she was like, "I don't know about that." And then I was like, "Oh well, my psychologist said that I have it, so I think I'm gonna like look into it."
I think exact same.
Yeah. And then when I've like started going through the motions of looking into it, my mum's like, "Oh shit, like I think I have it as well."
Get out the school reports.
Yeah. And she's kind of like looking back on things that have happened to her in her life and realizing that a lot of them might be ADHD symptoms, because I think it was just a lack of education of what it actually is, and a lack of like diagnosis in women especially.
Yeah.
So I don't really know about the rest of my family. They were just like, whatever. They didn't really care. Yeah, but like my mum was, I think she was mostly like shocked, because I think she thought it was a bigger thing than it was, and was kind of like, really? I don't think so. Like you've been fine. Like you seem fine. And then it's kind of switching a complete 180 and realizing, oh.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
So I first had like an inkling when I was like 16 or so. Just like struggling through school and not having like the right people around me that even understood, learning difficulties and whatnot. And then I was diagnosed about 20.
pretty much presents itself. I feel like this is one of the things maybe some people who don't have ADHD might not understand, is how much it just is involved with like every aspect. Because when I think about, in fact, I remember when I was diagnosed, and at the very end, like he kind of, early on, he just kind of was like, look, your score is so high right now, I'd be very surprised if you didn't have ADHD. So it was kind of, we knew by then, but we had to keep going. And once we got to the end of the assessment, I remember him asking questions about, how do you think ADHD has affected like your career? The next question was like relationships, study, all this shit. And I remember just being like a little bit like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was just hearing that, and then my response just always being just like whatever the highest was, like extremely or whatever.
I've been through maybe like 3 different phases with it where like it's very different, but definitely when you're in denial of it and you're and you're just trying to be like, no I don't, I can totally like do this and act like everyone else and blend in and whatever. And then I came to a realization like, no, I can't do that, like it takes a big toll. And researching it, and then I went through a phase where trying to see it as like a strength, I guess, and like, okay, so maybe I might be set back in some things, but how can I use this to be, how can I use this to help my strengths or like navigate my pathways and things like that.
Yeah. And like I was explaining to you before about the like time, like my perils with time, like just, it's mainly an everyday thing. Does that make sense? Like, I don't really have like a particular story or like an instance where it's sort of been like the root. It's more or less just like every day I'm just trying to like get things done, get through the day without having my, like, when I'm getting ready, most of the time it's like, I'll like be, like cleaning, like a cleaning job for me is like 3-4 hours. Just because like I'll be cleaning and then I'll find something under the bed. I'm like, I'll play with this for half an hour. Like it's just, and then I'll be getting ready and I'll maybe I should like clean the toilet real quick. And then I just can never stay focused. So it's more or less just like and then when it relates to work, it's like I've got 12 things differently to do and I'll half do every single job.
Big stereotype with ADHD is maybe the hyperactive thing, I think. Well, that's like the one that neurotypicals like understand the most, I guess. Like, oh, don't worry about her, she's a bit, I don't know. If I could list all the things I've been called, like schizo, which is obviously for schizophrenia, so it doesn't make sense. Like, she's scattered, ditzy, off with the fairies, like those are ones I've all had. But like it's good, like I definitely surround myself with people now that understand while I'll be talking through things, or like the interrupting thing, like I'm really wary of it, but it happens, and it's just about being surrounded by people that, you just have to remind them a lot. I guess, like, I'm not like you, I'm sorry.
That's a funny story. I don't know, I guess this isn't really a story, but I notice when I'm with like my older sister, like my conversations with her are so not as ADHD as Charlie and I. Like, I feel like when you're ADHD, you have like these kind of really
fast.
You're just like kind of in, the other person's in it with you kind of thing.
That's
but like, I feel like
true.
I'm talking a million miles an hour when I'm talking to like, my older sister or like other certain people. I like notice my ADHD, but with like specifically Charlie, like I so don't notice how like million miles an hour I'm talking, because like he's also the same. That's something that's a funny like, I guess interaction that I have.
We do a specific type of conversations.
We do, and I've really noticed that with like when we go out of like into my family and stuff like that. Like it's just different vibe. Not as like hyper.
Yeah, because I was
We
always
feed off
told
each
like
other.
speak fast, and I never knew it. It was always never thought I did.
Interesting.
But then we do that. We'll just like interrupt. Like
Interrupt
I'll interrupt
constantly.
you
Like,
for
hold
10
hang on,
seconds, and you'll interrupt me back. We just interrupt each other back and forth for like 2 hours.
Constantly, yeah.
That's like
it
our
annoys me so
conversations.
much when it happens to me, but I just did it to you.
It annoys me.
Yeah, and also when they went.
Stop it. Yeah.
But yeah, I just like I'm constantly interrupting people. And,
Yeah.
like, I hate being that person. It's so
Oh,
annoying.
yeah.
It's like the
Mm.
worst.
I always try. I'm very like, alright, don't. Just wait. Just wait.
Yeah.
I'm never even listening. I'm just like.
Wait, when's a good time to interject?
Can't even listen to what other person has to say.
People, that's one of the things. But then, yeah, people don't, in general, don't understand it. Because I didn't even understand it. I had the fucking thing. So, you know, I'm only kind of starting to learn now. And it seems like scientists still don't really know. I remember listening to a podcast, they were trying to, these two people, I assume they were scientists or some, yeah, anyway, they had written a book about ADHD, and they were arguing to change it to VAST, which is various attention stimulus something, because the whole idea was that behind it is that they call it's called attention deficit, but they were arguing, and it makes a lot of sense. It's not it's not really a lack of attention. It's more that your mind, first of all, there's much dopamine or whatever, however it works, and has so much attention that you just go from thing to thing to thing, and you don't have it kind of goes against, you don't have, in the moment, you don't have a conscious decision of, I'm going to change my mind, change my focus from this to this. So it happens without noticing. Like I remember saying to someone the other day how the only times I notice when I get distracted is when there's something like a kettle or a toaster or something that's going to alert me that I forgot. And sometimes in those moments it goes off and I'm like, damn, holy shit, I got sidetracked as hell.
There's a sociology term for someone with ADHD. It basically like translates to like jack of all trades, master of none.
Some misconceptions. Well, I used to think of ADHD before I had no idea what it even really was. I just seen it in TV shows and stuff, and I just had thought, yeah, it's just it's like a kid just causing trouble in like primary school class or something.
Yeah.
And that's because I was never really like that, so I just never even considered like an
Primary school
ADHD.
related. Yeah.
I was never. I'm not like hyperactive so much. I don't think.
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah, and then when you brought home the little list of ADHD symptoms, I was like, I had no idea that they were ADHD related. I just thought of it as, like
Characteristics.
causing trouble and just not like jumping around.
Yeah.
I
Knocking
really
stuff
was so
over.
confused, like, what is wrong with me? Like, I really was, like,
So long.
because I was like, it's got to be something more than just anxiety.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something else to it. But yeah, I think, like, I don't know if it was the same as you guys, but when I was diagnosed, they said that I had the inattentive stream
I
of
think that was the
ADHD,
same.
and not the hyperactive one. So, yeah, I think that probably makes a bit more sense as why it, like, wasn't picked up when we were younger. But yeah, just that, like, that stereotype of, like, a young boy running around and, like,
Literally.
just, like,
You just associate it with like
yeah.
primary school.
Yeah, and like you can think in your head like who the kids were with
You
ADHD
can.
in primary school. Like I know exactly who they were.
100%.
And
And
there's
like
probably so many more of them.
so many more.
Mm.
And like I feel like you get diagnosed either younger or older as well. So
Yeah.
and then I didn't know that. I thought it was like you have ADHD from the start, like and it's very noticeable, and you usually get diagnosed when you're really young.
I think it's especially different for girls. They're
Yeah.
they're less diagnosed. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're less likely to be.
I think most of the
Super
research
hyperactive and stuff.
has been done on men anyway.
I think that narrative of like you're being too dramatic, or like you just don't want to like do what you're told, or that's just misbehavior and stuff. And it's weird as well because in primary school like there was I remember like a male ADHD, and that was nuts. Like he was throwing stuff everywhere and blah blah blah. So when I got diagnosed, I was sort of like, oh whoa, like, is that what it's supposed to look like? And then yeah, you just definitely have a lot of questions. What am I meant to be? Where do I fit in here? But then for me it was more like I'd be in school, I'd be paying attention and stuff, but I'd be like falling asleep, or if I wasn't interested, like I just missed things. I never learnt to like tell the time. I still struggle with like fractions, stuff like that. I was put into, the special learning classes but yeah, and then that's why eventually they were like, what's going on here? Why isn't she, you know? I think it's that thing of like, every ADHD person their report card would say like, she's a bright kid, but just can't focus or distracting others, and yeah.
Yeah, my parents were the same. They were a bit they just didn't really know what it was. When I told them I had a referral to a psychiatrist, and then my mum had to call in and like had my school reports and stuff when they were going through the questions, and we were like, she was pissing herself laughing at like my grade 2 report. It's like all the same. It's like, Charlie struggles concentrating on things. He would be well served by, you know, taking more time to focus or study, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like every report said the same thing.
Yeah.
And
It's been right in front of me the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fair to myself to say like, oh, like it affects my music or affects this, because really, when I think about it, it's fucked with everything. Like it affects, yeah, just messed it. So okay, if you want some particular ones that deal with me, but I mean, yeah, I don't know so much, but I think it really affects my career, my music career, because I've kind of always showed promise. When I went to a music high school, and like, you know, all the teachers had shown great interest in me, and like, but it seemed like I could never really get it together, because I would always hear things like, you know, more attention to detail, you gotta work harder, or like maybe I'll bring in a composition or something and it'll be all over the place, and people will dismiss it. And luckily I had good enough teachers who were like respected, who see potential in me, despite all these things. So I was allowed to keep going. But really, I mean, you know, like but for example, not working hard enough. I remember saying, one of my parent teachers said to me, he used to always give me compliments and stuff, but he would say, but at the same time you're not working hard enough. And I remember saying that, coming home one time and saying it to my housemate, Big was one of my good friends, and I told him that, and it was funny because he was kind of getting shitty because I was always at fucking music uni, and he said to me, he just said, look, you're at music uni all the fucking time, you come home really late and you're not doing shit around the house. He's like, it's not you not working hard enough, it's that I think he still hasn't worked you out yet.
Well, that's why I say that like it was sort of traumatic in that sense when my dad said that, because I was young. You know, those sort of conversations just like fly over your head, but that stuck with me like throughout the last 10 years, because
Do you think you've internalized that?
100%, because I've always been trying to finish something, you know, like so that I can prove to my dad that I'm not just a master of none. But yeah, I'll start a job 6 months, next one, start another job, next one. Yeah, couldn't really find my feet.
Thinking about the list and then not doing the list, and then why haven't I done the list, and then oh my god, it's too late, I'm not even going to bother with the list. And then, but like I have to if I want to go to the shop, and then that list will become, I guess it's just like the overwhelming, the list will become at first like my grocery list. So my list will first be a grocery list, and then that will become, oh, is there anything I need to take into my car, which will become, you know, piles in my room. Do you know what I mean? And then like, oh, maybe I'll check, even like checking the fridge becomes like, who knows, because like sometimes I find my phone in there and then I'm like, okay, so I gotta remove that. Then I'll check the list again. Oh shit, I haven't like gone to the gym today. I haven't hung up my laundry like once again. I don't know, it's not that tragic, but like in my mind it is. It doesn't actually like happen like that, but like, yeah, that's what I mean, just the smallest task of like, I don't know. Yeah, that each thing's like a different, but then it just like blends and it's like, no, I can't. And I think it's like the day-to-day, like ADHD for me is just like connecting those tubes, like just trying to get the messages from A to B, and it's just like, blah, 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 blah. It just won't. Yeah. That's sort of it for me, I guess.
I always have to like make lists of things to do, and then I forget why, and I'm just like, oh well, I did, like I was doing this for a reason, so I'll just do it. But it's like, wait, why was I gonna?
Why was I gonna do that?
Why did I write like, you know, clean the kitchen or something?
Yeah.
Like, why did I choose
Before
to do
this
that?
thing,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then, but I'm like, oh, I
Like,
gotta
what?
trust it. Gotta trust the process.
Yeah, that was like the other night we were reading through that photo of your journal, and it was like the specific thing that you wanted to do in art like a year ago, and it didn't really make much sense. I always do that, just like it's like your mind just like this is I have a great idea. I need to write it down, and then like you go back to you're like.
What was I saying?
But yeah, she did it was like a year ago. We were reading back on it.
And I had
and
no
we were just
idea
like,
what it
what?
was.
Like,
What does that mean?
So you're
like, I actually
in
like
circles.
speaking in code sometimes.
It's
like a code, not with myself.
not even with
though.
yourself. You haven't even locked the code.
Yeah. What is the code?
Jumping out.
You're like Asia on it or something.
Yeah.
What helps my ADHD, or what do I find that helps my ADHD? I think for like a lot of people with ADHD or living with ADHD, it's like as kids, like fidgeting is like a big one. Like I think that's like one of the biggest ones. And so like trying to keep still was like never a thing as a child. So people would always, you know, see me as a naughty child for not listening to my mum for being quiet. So that was quite a thing, because I was always getting into trouble and always getting told off when I was a kid. And then even now, like my ex-partner was just like could not handle like little ticks and little clicks and like little clacks and things, and it really was like disheartening, because like I couldn't find any other way to like calm my quiet my mind down, rather than finding something to like I enjoy like clicking my fingernails like when I get somewhat anxious, and you don't even realize that you're doing it until someone tells you to stop doing that. So yeah.
So advantages of being neurodivergent or of having ADHD? Either. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, I think about it sometimes, because sometimes when I do hear superpowers of ADHD or whatever, depending on what it is, sometimes I'm a little bit like it's a bit skeptical, to be honest. At the same time, I think there are superpowers. Well, I don't know. Superpowers seems a little bit too nice on us. But I can, if something I'm interested in, I can really, hyper focus can be really good. So, you know, if I have the time and I'm on medication, I don't really have much of a problem. I can wake up and practice piano for, you know, maybe 5 hours or something like that. I don't have any friends who do that. And in part that's also related to my own determination, but I've noticed that it's so very, very easy for me to get hyper focused on something. So I can improvise for a very long time, because I think improvisation is something that really alleviates my ADHD. But so there is that.
Oh my god, I feel like so much. Like I feel like having ADHD makes me feel like a superhero.
Yeah. Prime Minister girl.
And I was talking to my friend at work the other day about this. We were like painting a mural together, like just us, and it was so fun because we both have ADHD as well. And we were just like saying like, we are just like, we can change the world. Like it sounds so stupid and like it's so like annoying. Like I feel so annoyed. But, like I swear, like I just think that like,
oh, this endless possibilities, girl.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'm better than other people. Like I think
No,
it's definitely hard.
It's definitely more of an internal confidence thing.
Yeah.
You're not like, it's not like a comparing thing. It's
yeah.
like, I have the ability to do so much more than I thought I could.
Yeah.
I think you've already pretty much stated that sentiment, which is just to be a bit more compassionate towards yourself and the difficulties that come with like living with ADHD. The older you get, it doesn't get any easier. So I think just to not beat yourself up over it would probably be a sentiment that I think a lot of people living with ADHD could do with a little bit more love.
Yeah, I think medication definitely been a big change.
Yeah.
Just being able to, know I can get stuff done if I need to.
Yeah.
And not putting stuff off to the back all the time. And now if I have to do something, I can actually get started and do it. And then, like I'll finish uni work or whatever before it's like not the night before, and I'll actually feel like I'm on top of stuff. And it's like,
wow.
yeah, it's such a new, like I don't think I've ever done that in my life.
Yeah.
And now,
Me neither.
yeah, I'm able to do that. It's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
And yeah, like reading books and stuff. I can like read a book.
Yeah.
Things
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
uh-huh.
so excited to
love.
read books.
Yeah.
Yes. You
Oh, it's wonderful.
how many like
Watch a movie? Like
Yeah.
I can't even watch a movie.
Yeah, I don't watch movies. I just watch YouTube because I can't.
Yeah,
like,
or TV
watch it
shows,
all
like
the time. Yeah.
20-minute TV shows.
Yeah.
Like I can handle this.
I think painting's the only thing that I
Yeah.
get to eat.
Yeah, painting. I'll go into the studio in the morning, and then it'll be like 5 o'clock, and I haven't eaten
Yeah,
all day.
same.
So just been like actually like focused on what I'm doing.
Which is great.
Yeah,
It's
which
such
is,
a good feeling, like
It's like good,
it's
but
like,
then
well,
you feel like
so-
you're gonna like collapse.
yeah, you're like
when you get out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah. It's like pale.
I always get that with making like recording music. I'll
Mm.
just be like, 11:30, and I'll just like settle down. I'll be like
What's
fiddling
this
away,
noise?
and then it'll be
What's this sound?
like 3 a.m. and I'll be like, are you serious? Like
Yeah.
finished
Just
for
be
5
like
minutes.
playing different sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just
Ding,
yeah,
dong.
it's just like time just disappears. Yeah, that's literally I'm just like I'm just like try different stuff.
A lot of inventors with ADHD, like apparently the Wright brothers have it, and like when you look at things like that, like true, only someone that's truly a little bit, well, obviously like neurodivergent can think of things like that, like I want to fly through the sky, and they were just like, okay, let's like do this, you know, and yeah, things like that is definitely who I'd look up to. But then a main one more closer to home would be probably my mum, just because like when I got diagnosed, she went off and did that, and she's like an academic, so she fully inserted herself into a, you know, systemic sort of thing that like I think I would avoid with ADHD, because which is the educational system, and like she's a lecturer and she all day researches and learns things, which is like I think good to have in my life to know like I can do that, and like you just gotta figure out what works for you and stuff.
But if I'm at the supermarket, I'm on the phone, same time, loving life, having a great time, going from aisle to aisle to aisle. But I do something, you know, I walk around, I just think, look at other people and think, I wonder if this person thinks I'm just fried in the head, because I've just seen me go down the same aisle like 5 times or something like that, has not picked out anything, you know, and I'm like talking really loudly and like doing some shit, like whatever, you know, if I'm in a good mood, I might dance into the aisle, you know, and they're looking at me, the fuck, and it just, yeah, exactly, and then the classic, yeah, you just do the whole thing, it takes you way too long because you couldn't multitask, you couldn't talk on the phone while you got your items. And then of course, even if I wrote a list, I may forget to get the list out, or I get the list out, like, look at me, this is great. I've got a list, I'll get these items, great. And I'll get the first like 3 items or something, and then I put the list away, and then someone might call me on the phone, oh, yo, man, it's been forever, what's going on? Bang, go to different aisles, and exactly, I've left with, you know, just a couple of pears imported from Mexico or something, and then but I haven't got any of the other items, and then I have to go back, and it sucks, and yeah, who knows, yeah.
The positives, but I think it would be ADHD and creativity goes really well together. Like a lot of people who I know in the creative scene and stuff have come to me recently like, hey, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. I'm like, that does not surprise me at all. I mean, you know, but then it's like, you know, balancing the struggle of like, a lot of creative stuff is like events or like galleries or gigs. You have to get stuff done before then. And if you just try and, I think, focus on the fact like you're not doomed, and like you do have like a sparkle, even if it is leaving your phone in the fridge. you know, I think, yeah, just grasping that. I guess harnessing it is more, and then like using that energy, because obviously we have like copious amounts of energy, just to use that to focus and stuff. Yeah, it's hard with the hyper focusing as well, because that's a really big strength, I think, and I haven't learnt how to grasp that yet, I think, but I look forward to it, because when you look at what can happen when people with ADHD like use their hyper focusing to, you know, go there and delve deep, it's amazing what they create. It's like nothing else, and that's crazy, so I love that.